Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to the Humble Servant Homestead, guys. Today I am out here in the garden getting ready to give you all a garden update, guys, because there is a whole lot of stuff that happened in the garden since you all have not been able to see it since then, okay? But 3 years ago, we moved here to this property right here, guys, and we started a garden. Now, when we first started the garden here up at the top, it was not as big as it is now, but we started in a small spot, and then eventually we started venturing on out into the garden. Now, if y'all go back to some of our previous videos, guys, you will notice that there has been a lot of changes in the garden since then, okay? And so also, we are here at Grow Zone 8A, guys, and I want to show you all the productivity and all the different things that is going on here inside of the garden. Now, ever since we have started the garden here on the homestead, guys, we have been trying to take you all along with us step by step on just showing you all how to go about growing a garden successfully. Okay, now I am not going to come here and sit before you guys and said that everything that I plant here in the garden comes out successfully. It is actually trials and errors and even learning the plants and different things that plants like. And I want you all to do the same. Okay, so no further ado, come on along, let's go through the entrance, and we're going to start right here at the front, guys. Now, right here is where we have some onions that we had planted out, okay, that we are doing a experiment. In this area here, we have some long day and also short day onions, guys. And so far, they're okay. They're not doing the best. These ones right here, they're starting to bulb out. I think we may have a decent sized bulb on them, but not really big. Okay, now that we started from seed, yes. Now these right here are the long day onions, and right in this area right here is the short day onions, and over here is also long day onion. But I think the issue is with my short day onions, I did kind of plant them out a bit late, and that is why I believe I'm going to get some pretty small bulbs on them, but nonetheless they are still eatable, and we're still able to do what it is we need to do with them. Okay, so come on along and we'll keep on moving down. Now, right here is a volunteer mullein plant that we also have here in the garden. I believe I'm going to probably move it to the best that I can and put it in a pot. And hey, we'll do a little container garden with this mullein here as well. Okay, so right in this area here as well, guys, is also where we have some brassicas planted. Okay, now if y'all remember those brassicas that I have started out in my raised bed, I moved them on out into this area right here and just put them inside of the raised bed so they can grow pretty big the way how we want them. And so this is what these are. Now, these particular one right here is actually the Georgia collards that we have planted right here. And coming on down to the back right here is also some cauliflower that we also planted out. And so far, guys, they are doing really well. And right here is where we had celery planted last year. And so the seed dropped, and what happened? We have some volunteer celery plant. Okay, now that is the beauty about when you're planting heirloom seeds, guys. When your seed drop, hey, you know that this plant will stay true, to what it is. Okay, so we'll keep on moving on down. And so right in this area here is also where we have some Callaloo planted, and I'm going to have to come on out and sprinkle them and take care of them, because these little bugs here, guys, I'm telling you, these little buggers here. Now, these right here is Callaloo worst nightmare. You will plant your Callaloo And if you don't come on out and sprinkle them with that diatomaceous earth, or even spraying them with whatever organic spray that you have, you will run into a bit of a pest issue. And that no gardeners like that, right? Because I don't, and I'm pretty sure you don't as well. So this is where we have our callaloo planted, and right here some Lacianata kale, guys. And so what happened with this garden bed right here, as I had stuff and they was getting ready, I was just sticking them in different area. If you have the space to put it in, just go ahead and put it. Don't make no sense for you to waste a plant. So just stick it in somewhere and just let it grow.
This bed right here had garlic in it, right?
Yes, this was the bed that had the garlic in there. We came on in and we harvest out all of the garlic, and that was a beautiful harvest. All praises be to the Most High. But guys, what I went ahead and did with this particular bed, I came on in and I amended this bed right here, guys, and I planted callaloo in it. Okay, so that is one of the beauty with the raised beds. They are a bit forgiving. Okay, you just come on in with whatever fertilizer it is that you use, amend your soil, and you are ready to go again. No downtime on the raised bed. Even though, like I said, there must be a point of time when you do put these beds right here to rest, guys. Give them some nutrients and just leave them. Let them go ahead and sit until you're ready to plant again. Okay, so come on along, let's go. And so right here is a bit more callaloo. Yes, we have callaloo all throughout this garden, not just the top garden, but we'll talk about the bottom garden when we get there. And so right here, guys, you're going to see some of the plants that are looking a bit sad. Now, what happened, I transplant these plants out from the big garden, because wherever you plant callaloo, you will have tons of callaloo sucker pop up, especially when you let them go to seed. And so they're looking a little bit sad, but hey, as time goes on and those roots get established in the ground, they will perk right up just like these ones right here. Okay, and so we'll just keep on walking down. More callaloo, Georgia collards, and also cauliflower right here as well. Okay, and so one dinosaur kale over there, and also more callaloo, guys. And so like I said, and even more callaloo, guys. Look at that beautiful callaloo plant. And so all these callaloo plant, I'm going to go ahead and move them and put them in different area. Even some of them I may even have to come on in and just move them out the space completely, because if not, this ground right here, guys, in this garden is so fertile and just full of all the different things that plants need to grow. And wherever a seed drop in this garden, guess what? You trust and believe that it is going to grow. Okay, and so right down here is just more brassicas. We're not going to spend too much time. It's more brassicas, and real quick, another celery, volunteer celery. Now this one here has been walked on, stepped on, and I'm going to move it, okay, because it has been lasting for a long time, and I'm going to move it somewhere so it can have a chance of surviving. Okay, and right here, guys, is where I also came on in with some kohlrabi. Okay, I just went ahead and planted this kohlrabi on in here. The space was available. Now remember, all this entire bed right here was loaded with garlic. Okay, loaded with garlic. And we came on in and we plant more veggies in. You think about it, guys, food preservation. A lot of time, you know, especially with what's going on right now, you have garden space and it's open and available and you can put some food in. Go ahead and put some food in. One of the things is, though, don't forget to amend that bed. You need to amend that bed with whatever nutrients you're going to put in, just so that way this bed can work for you. Okay, the microbes in the ground and everything can work for you guys. All right, and so right here is where we also have some more celery. And I am telling you, one of the beauty about it is when you are growing all natural here in the garden, guys, is that you can always come on in just like that, and you can pick a leaf, and whoo, I'm telling you, Homegrown celery is the best celery ever. This thing is so flavorful, it is so strong, and it's very vibrant in your mouth, and that is the beauty about it, guys. But growing all natural is the way to go, is the way to go. All right, so come on along, let's go. We're going to go ahead and make another pit stop right on over here in another raised bed here. Now this right here is some basil plant that my wife that we came on out and planted in here, and this right here is cilantro that we started on the inside, guys. And yes, basil, cilantro, and also we have some ground cherries that we also started. So most of this stuff that you see here is stuff that we started on the inside. I'm not going to say all of them because, well,
I was gonna say, what
well, guys, I'm guessing if I see something that we didn't start ourselves, I will point it out and let you know. But that is also the beauty about being a gardener. That is very important, to start your own seeds, guys. Saving your own seeds and starting your own seeds, because that is also very important when it comes to gardening. Okay, we'll talk a little bit more about it later on. But as y'all can see here, we have some more red Russian kale sucker. Now, these suckers are still here because we planned out somewhat quite a bit, and you know, just the space just was not available to plant them out. But they're a bit big now, and if I can still go ahead and plant them out, I probably will, because those things, they produce, guys. Okay. And also we have some bok choy right here. Now this is also where I started bok choy sucker as well, and we have more bok choy, and I am going to let it go ahead and go to seed to save some seeds from that bok choy as well. Okay, and so right down here is where we have some thyme. Okay, now I'm telling you guys, it is just a beauty to walk outside and pluck some herb, take back into the kitchen and cook up a meal. That is the beauty about having a garden, and I want you all to have one as well. Okay, so this right here is the thyme, guys. Now this right here, a thyme plant, is a biannual plant. Okay, which means the first year you're going to get your thyme and everything else like that. The second year is when it's going to go ahead and start to seed. Now all these white flowers that you see down here is all thyme seeds, guys. And like I tell my wife, I said, hey, don't you go out there and cut my thyme seeds, because I need to save those seeds right there. Now what will happen once these thyme seeds go ahead and dry back, and that's the thing, it helps to replenish itself, because once these seeds dry up and some of them fall back down there on the ground, guess what, guys? You will have another thyme patch right in this area here, because it rejuvenates itself over a period of time. Okay, and so that is what that is. And also, as y'all can see, we have some more thyme planted out in here, guys, because I just say, hey, you know what, I don't believe I have enough planted. Because one of the things when you get out there, those Jamaican man, they always ask you, say, hey, you don't have no time. And I said, no, Bridget, me no plant no time this year, you know. So this year, guys, I have some time for them. It may not be a whole lot, but it's enough to be able to get them some time. All right, and so right here also is where we have some rosemary, guys. Now this rosemary have a lot of benefit. If you have a plant, use it. You can even make you some rosemary tea in the morning. Okay, just like the thyme, you can also make thyme tea, guys. Basil tea. And so, you know, the thing about it with these herbs, your body need those herbs. Just in case if you may have a sickness within, an illness or something like that, this thyme or this rosemary will help to, you know, fight that off and help your body to keep on pushing. All right, so right over here, we're going to move on back on over here, and where we have our ginger planted, guys. And it's one of those things that, hey, when you see it, move it. okay? And that's what I'm doing with these weeds right here. One thing I can't stand in my garden is weeds, and so whenever I do have the time, I come on out and I will pull them. But right here I have some ginger planted in this area right here as well. And so far we had a bit of a good germination. Not so much, you know, we still have some that did not show up just as yet, but hey, we will leave them and see what they do for us. But we have gingers busting up. Hey, if we get just a little finger of ginger, we're happy for that. All right. And so we'll come on down here. In this area, we had some black oil. No, we have some black seed oil seeds planted or right in this area here. Now, I've not seen any germination just as yet, but that's what we have planted. I see something over there, but yep, we do have some germination. We have a few right there, but that's what we have planted in this area. And right down here is, as you can see, that beautiful flower right there. This is some calendula that we have planted. Another herb in this area here, guys, that you can use to make tea and just different other stuff like that. So remember, this is the herb bed, right? And excuse that sheep. I separate him from his mama and she does not like it, okay? But right here as well is just a couple more ground cherries that we have planted in this area right here, guys. Right over here is some cherries. Not cherries, excuse my language. Don't know why I'm thinking about cherries. But right here we have some strawberries planted in this area right here. And so far they are doing really, really well. Doing really, really well. Okay? And it's pretty good right there. And so this is our little strawberry patch. I think it was last year. Was it last year when the goat came in and ate all the other?
That was year before last.
Year before last. We had a beautiful little strawberry patch, and we had a goat that just loved the garden. Would come on out here, and they would come out here and eat up the whole strawberry patch, guys. Okay. Now we do have quite a bit of runners in here that we also coming in with our pot. Now this one I have to come back and put a little more dirt because it done came out, but we have a couple of runners. Here go one that took. Okay, and so that is also a way to get more strawberry plants. It's by just coming on in with a pot with some soil and stick that on in, and look at that. You have a real nice healthy strawberry plant ready to plant out somewhere else. Okay, and so here we are in the no-till garden bed, guys. Now, when I constructed a lot of these beds right here, I did it in mind just to go ahead and show you all the different little methods of how you can go ahead and build a garden, okay? It does not have to be complicated. Now, one of the things is when you're building a garden bed, it doesn't matter whether it's a raised bed, a no-till bed, planting directly in the ground. Keep this in mind. The fundamentals of gardening in wherever you're gardening is the same, guys. Nothing changes, okay? As far as with the soil. Only thing you're doing, you're just building different structures, whether it may be a raised bed, a no-till bed, or planting directly in the ground. You still need those microbes and everything, the biology and the setup in the dirt. You still need that. So nothing really changes, just that it's a no-till bed, a raised bed, or directly, or even culture bed. It's still the same. You still need dirt and stuff like that to grow your plant, okay? So right over here, we did brought you all along with us when we came on out here and planted our onions, guys. Now we had some red onions that were planted out in this garden bed right here. Now I'm going to show you the difference as far as when you plant them early and when you plant them a bit late. These was the first one that we planted here, guys. We planted them out early. So these ones is about 2 weeks late from when we had planted them.
Trying to get it side by side with the glare of the sun.
Okay. And so if you can see the size, can you see?
Yep.
If you could see the size difference on this part, look at that. Okay. Now, like I always say, not all of them in here is created equal. I'm not going to just come on in and show you all the big, but look at that. It's not ready as yet. That is true. And even look at this one right here that, hey, planted at the same time and didn't even do anything. Okay, look at this one here. You know, different sizes of onions in here, guys. But this is the no-till bed and the product that we're getting. Now, the ones that was planted out a bit late, which it is actually time to go ahead and come on out here and start harvesting them. You can see the difference. Look at that. They bulb out early. I know when they started bulbing that I was not going to get a great big onion out of them. Now you may be saying, hey, Mr. Humble, how you know they was not going to make big onions? I can tell by looking at the neck. Okay, when I look at the neck and I'm looking at the foliage, if the foliage is still a bit small and looking not well, like these over here, if you notice the foliage on these, how big and thick they are, that let me know that I'm going to get some real nice big onions. And that's what I'm seeing over here, comparing to over here. It wasn't, as you can see, but nonetheless, the thing about it is, an onion is an onion, still have the flavor. You may have to just cook with two. But guess what, guys? Just the fact that I was able, and that's the same with even you guys out there. If you're able to come on out and plant something and harvest, and it may even be this size, don't worry. Something is better than nothing, okay? But we're going to come on out and harvest these pretty soon. But we'll just give you all a shot of what the onions are looking like, okay? We have these ones here that is pretty big, okay? Pretty big. And over here we have the other ones that is not so much. They're not big, but they're still at a perfect size, okay? That is still edible, still cookable, all right? And so that is pretty much it there. And some of them, we have some huge ones in here, okay? And so, guys,
And these are from store-bought onions.
from store-bought onions. And what we're going to do now, because we're still in the no-till bed, we're going to work our way on around and talk a little bit about the carrots and also the beets that we have in the no-till bed as well. So come on along. And so here is some more onions, which is a long day onions. These are what I started from seeds, yes. And so they're doing their thing. You know, hey, if I get a little bulb out of them, that's okay as well. Or I can always come out, because that's what we do as well. We'll come out and pull a whole onion out and we'll cook with it like that as well. Okay, and so here we have some carrots that we have also started in the no-till bed. Germination on those carrots was not the best. It was not the best, but we still have a few in here, and that is enough to be thankful for. All right, and so right in here is where we also have some beets that we have been coming in and pulling beets out. You know, we'll come in and we'll search for the bigger ones and we will pull them out, guys. But yes, that is the beets right there. So far, it's been doing good for us, all right? And so right on over here now, what we're going to do, we're going to get ready to transition over here to our Scotchy babies. Let's go, guys. And so here we are where we have our 3 rows of Scotchy babies planted. So far, they are doing good. They're coming along pretty nicely. Now, we do have some guys that we have to come back on in and replant, because some of them, when we had that real strong windstorm, It knocked quite a bit of them back, okay? But nonetheless, we still have plants in here that we're able to get some peppers out of, okay? So don't y'all worry, I will have your peppers for you. So this is pretty much the Scotchy patch that we have right here. Definitely not as big as it was last year, okay? And
Well, well, yeah, you're right.
yeah,
You
it's
planted the plants closer though, so
yeah,
you have
closer.
about 25 in each row, so about 50 in each bed.
Well, you know, minus the ones of them that died. And so what I'm actually doing is, because this is where I plant peppers last year as well, and I have suckers that is bursting up. Now I may not get peppers off of them soon. It may take a while, because that's why it is important to start your seeds 8 weeks inside before your last frost date. Okay, so you can have them ready to plant outside. Okay, guys, but that is pretty much the Scotch baby. Stay tuned. We will be coming in to do a little bit more videos on the Scotch bonnet peppers. So stay tuned for that right there. Okay. All right. And so right over here, and yes, it may be a late start for me, which not too late, but you know, they could have been out a bit earlier. But this weather has been so up and down, which they do like the cool weather anyway. Okay, so this is where we have some squash planted in this area right here. We have a double row of squash planted all the way down, guys. Okay, and this is also a volunteer tomato plant, which I don't think it's going to stay there for too much longer. We may have to move it somewhere so it can go ahead and do what it needs to do. All right, so come on along. We're going to move on down real quick. And so right here also is where we have some ashwagandha planted. Okay, so we have right at about, I want to say about 7 plants planted of ashwagandha in this area. 8. Okay, and so, you know, hey, they started from seeds and they have been doing their thing. Okay, so, and this is another very beneficial plant also for your health. So when you get a chance, check out ashwagandha as well, guys. All right, so we're going to move on over to the next row. And so right here is also where we have a double row of llama beans planted as
Double row of what?
llama beans.
Lima.
Llama beans.
Lima.
Llama beans.
Yes.
Girl, look, we ain't doing that there more. Come on, let's go. But nonetheless, guys, this is where we have a double row planted. Now, this is not supposed to have been the one that vines.
Right.
So I'm trying to figure out right now what's really going on. That's not good.
Bush lima.
It's supposed to be the bush. But
Touch. I don't know.
well, I'm praying that's not the case, because I do not have a trellis for them in here. So, but one of the things that we talk about with Callaloo, guys, is wherever you plant Callaloo and you let them go to seeds, you rest assured that you're going to find Callaloo in the springtime. Okay, and so that is what this is right here. And I'm going to come on in and move these on out and plant them in a different area. But this whole entire row right here is planted with llama beans and a few volunteer Callaloo plants. Okay, now right over here also is where we have some roselle, also known as sorrel, planted in this area right here, guys. And so far they're starting to take off. They're doing good. Okay, at first it seems like they wasn't going to do nothing, but as time goes on, the weather warms up, they're starting to take off. Okay, and that's the thing, even with the weather, because it has been so cold, guys, a lot of stuff is not growing as fast as it would normally would. Okay, but that is totally fine, because we do have a long grown season here in grow zone 8A. And also we have a volunteer squash plant coming up right here. Remember, this is where we had all our squash planted last year. Okay, so right here is also where we have our asparagus planted. Now they are going to seed now, so No more asparagus for right now. Oh, wow. Well, we got one coming out right here. Well, you know, but we do have a couple actually coming out. I thought they would have been done, but hey, we have a couple more asparagus coming out. So we might have to check up underneath the canopy of that plant.
We'll take it.
Oh, yeah. All right. And so right here, guys, also is where we have corn planted. Okay. Now, as y'all can see, we have some corn planted in this area right here. Now, what this is the Jimmy red corn that we have planted out in this area. And also, if you all notice that we do have beans planted in here as well. Okay, so that is just killing two birds with one stone, planting your beans with your corn. Now, this is a vining bean, which is called the rattlesnake pole bean. Okay, so as these corn grow, what's going to happen, they will go ahead and vine around it, and you're able to come on out and harvest some beans while your corn is even still growing, guys. Okay, and so that is what that is. And if y'all notice, I have a double row of the corn planted here, just so I can get the most out of my garden bed, guys. Okay, now what I went ahead and did inside of here is the width is right at about a foot, and the spacing in between the corn is right at about 8 inches to a foot apart, just so that those corn can still get the nutrients that they need. All right, so that is pretty much it right there for the corn. And over here as well is where I have another double row of silver queen corn planted in here as well. Now you may be saying, hey, why you didn't plant all the corn at the same time? No, 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 no. You don't want to do that, okay? Because we have two different varieties of corn planted in this area here, guys. Now these Jimmy red corn is right at about a month, okay? Yeah, somewhere about a month older. And these right here, I just planted them out yesterday. Now, the reason why I did that is because I don't want these corn to cross pollinate. So guys, keep that in mind, guys. If you don't want your corn to cross pollinate, you want to give one variety a length of time in between to go ahead and get big, and then you plant your next variety. That way you don't have cross-pollination. Okay, now we're going to go ahead now and move on over here real quick. And what we're going to talk about real quick, guys, now I want to come on in and do a video, but I'm going to show you all, be careful baby, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you all the productivity or the product on how they are doing. Okay, I'm not going to touch much on it because I want to do a separate little video for you guys, but they are looking so beautiful. These right here is the chocolate Scotch bonnet peppers, guys, and from what I'm seeing, they look nice. They look nice, but stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and come on in and give a little update, and we'll talk about them a little bit more in depth. Okay, now right here is where we also have a few eggplant planted out here inside of the garden. Not a whole lot. We have, well, I guess you would say a whole lot, because we do have a couple of different plants planted out. Now, look at this here, guys. And I'm stepping on them. Now, keep in mind that these rows right here inside of the garden, the walkway, yes, but this walkway here inside of the garden, guys, is 2 feet wide. Now you may be saying, hey, why did you make your walkway so wide? This is the reason why. Because now this leaf of this cabbage is at least about a foot in the walk space. If not, let me see. Can you see me? You can see me now. Can you see me? But look at that, guys. Look at the leaves on these cabbage here. What would you say, colossal?
Yeah.
It is very big. But guys, these particular cabbage right here, I want to say this is a flat Dutch, okay? This is a flat Dutch cabbage. And we also have a variety of cabbage in here as well that's called the Brunswick, okay? And now you could tell the difference between the Brunswick and the flat Dutch just by shape, okay? The flat Dutch is a bit more flatter. The Brunswick is a little bit more taller, okay? And so,
This on the end right here is flatter.
yes, that is also a flat Dutch. And as y'all can see, they're starting to fold. And hey, that is a good thing. Now, do you all remember this area right here? Because I showed you all this area when I had everything planted in here, and I showed you guys when the goats came in and destroyed this area right here, guys. But look at it now. What I actually went ahead and did, let me come on over. And so what I went ahead and did in this area here is where the goat kind of knocked some of them back and where they wouldn't come up, or there was the crown of the was gone out of them. I came in and I put in Georgia collards, guys, okay? And Georgia collards, but it looked like I should have left the Georgia collards out because it's almost like they don't really have much space to grow. And so right here is where we have our red acres cabbage as well. And yes, the red acres cabbage. And I want to say this over here is the Brunswick. Okay, this is a Brunswick here, which is by the end of the week it should be ready. Quite a bit of them in here should be ready. But so far, guys, they are looking really beautiful. They're looking beautiful, and some of them is getting so big because it is time. And with us coming in and watering them, we're starting to notice a little bit of splitting in some of them, okay? Because they are getting so full, all right? But nonetheless, that right here is also a Brunswick cabbage right here. That right there will fill out even more as time goes on. And look at here, Japanese beetle, guys. That can be a gardener worst nightmare as well. Japanese beetle, but nonetheless, and over there is also where I have some more red Russian kale planted out. Okay, now this whole entire fence line, what I have back here, I have some more Poland, what do they call it, Christmas llama bean or something like that. So this right here is supposed to trellis up the fence, okay? And so that's what that is. Now what we're going to go ahead and do here now is take you all around on the fence line so you all can see what we have planted over there as well. Because remember, this is a full garden update, and we're starting up top with everything that we have planted up here. So come on along and let's go. All right, and so now that we are here on the fence line, now if you all remember those Alabama Bell tomato that a subscriber sent us, here they go right here. They're starting to grow and take off a bit. Now I do have to come on in and do a little bit of weeding around them, but that is them right there. What I'm also going to do, because I did transplant them out in here, as they grow, I will come on in and I will put a little bit of dirt around them so they can put out more roots, so they can grow real nice and strong for us here. All right, so come on down. Okay, and so right here we have some wild passion fruit, and also known as maypops. Okay, now what happened, they do grow on out there on our property. And I'll go on out there. You got to know how to identify them. And so I did pull up about 3 of them, and the slugs got the best of one of them for the most part, but it's still alive. Okay, but that is what this is right here, and it is a plant that likes to vine. So that's why we put it right here on the fence. Now go ahead and check out that maypop or wild passion fruit, because it do have quite a bit of health benefit, guys. Now, one of the things that I want to do, I think I may hold on to that. Y'all just stay tuned, and I will take you all on something that is stay tuned on that. So, all right? Of course, right here, like I said, is where we have our corn planted. Me and my son came on out yesterday and planted up that corn right there. And so right here is where we have the kukuzi squash planted. Now, I believe I planted out right at about 5 seeds, and all 5 seeds germinated. Okay, so that's a great germination rate right there on the kukuzi squash that also our subscribers sent us as well. All right, so we'll just keep on moving on down. And that's why I said as well, utilize your fence space, guys. If you have space, fence space in your garden, utilize it. All right, so right here as well is where we have some yard long beans planted right along this fence line here that likes to vine. And so we're going to go ahead, and as y'all can see right now, they're vining. Okay, and so what we'll come on out here and do is just go ahead and put them inside the fence. And you got to be real careful because they are a bit kind of delicate. And look at that, guys. They're just vining away. And that's a good thing. That's what you want to see. Okay, so we'll just put this one on in so it can go ahead and do its thing. All right. And so that is what this is. That's what this is, the yard long bean. Let me go ahead, and I'm telling you, there's so much growth from yesterday since I came on out here, because they was not doing all this. But now you want to be very careful with those pieces up top. They'll break on you real easily. Okay, so come on down, and right in here is where we have our cucumber planted. Now this cucumber here is the Market More 76 variety of cucumber. Okay, so what happened was we couldn't, well, our seeds that we put up, we put them up so well to where that we couldn't find them. So I had to go out and buy some more Market More 76 varieties. And I want to show you all something. This is only 2 that germinated out of the pack. And I believe it was about, well,
The pack that you purchased.
that I purchased. Okay. And so,
It was 3 packs you put down and put down and put down, right?
no, I put just one pet down. And what happened, I came back in and I put more down from that pack.
Okay.
And germination rate on them, guys, was not the best. Okay, as y'all can see, we only have 2 that is actually standing out of that pack. And when I finally find my seed, you could come on in. When I finally find my seeds, what I went ahead and did, because maybe I was saying, hey, you know what, maybe it's something going on here. So I started to put in 2 of our seeds in a hole, and look at that. Germination rate is a success. We have great germination rate from out of the seeds that we saved back from last year crop. Okay, all right, guys, and so we'll just keep moving on down. We'll just keep moving down. And so right in here as well is where we have that butterfly pea flower. Now these plants, they do like warm weather. And so because the weather that we have been getting here lately have not been the warmest, they are moving a little bit slow for us. Okay, but nonetheless, as time goes on and it warms up, I think they will start to do just well. All right, and look at that, more Callaloo plant more Callaloo plant. And that's why I said, once you plant the Callaloo, you will always have Callaloo in this area here. All right. And if you all remember, this is where we planted our snow peas, or English snap peas, in this area right here. And now they are starting to die back. And what we are also doing here is saving seeds, guys. So we came out and got all that we wanted out of them as far as harvesting for the household. And we leave some back to go ahead and go to seeds. Because like I said, seed preservation, that is a big thing. Don't forget to save seeds from whatever it is you are planting, okay? Don't forget. But nonetheless, that is it right there for the whole complete tour of the top garden, so you all can see. Now, if you all remember, when we came on out here, this whole entire area was just dirt. It was just dirt. And so I just came on out and I put my hand to the plow, and you know what? The Father blessed it, guys. He blessed it. I can see it. And I am just thankful for that, because without him that give me the strength and the energy, none of it would have been possible. Okay? And also another thing is, you know, I know people may say sometimes, hey, man, you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of, but guys, I don't look at it as that. I don't look at it as it's a lot of work. I come out here and it's just like one of those making a sculpture. Come on in with your chisel and your hammer, and you just slowly go ahead and knock on that rock until you get where you need to get. Like they always say, Rome was not built in a day. So I come out here every morning and I take my time and I work, do what it is that I can do, and I'll come back on out the next morning and I keep on working. Okay? So don't never look at it. Don't come out here and look at all this space right here and say, man, that's because guess what? You have already been defeated and you haven't even get started yet. Okay? So nonetheless, guys, I just want you all to just stay motivated and just be motivated and get outside and get in the dirt and just start planting. Start planting something. Like I said, I don't care what it is. And one of the things is that I am just so excited and I'm just so thankful, because there are brothers, a couple of brothers out there that have been sending me pictures and saying, hey, you know, man, thanks to you for you know, doing this, because I am able to construct my garden at home. And guys, all I can sit back over on the other side, and even when he said it, all I can say is, all praises be to the Most High. All praises be to the Most High, guys. Like I tell people at times, I am just a vessel. I'm just a vessel working for the Most High. And so if there's somebody being blessed by knowing how to garden and doing what they need to do, hey, mission accomplished. Like I said, if it's only just one person that took away from what it is that I'm doing out here, mission accomplished. Okay? But nonetheless, guys, I can go on and on. I just want to say thanks to each and every one of you all out there for stopping by the Humble Servant Homestead. And as always, peace and blessings to each and every one of you all out there. Remember, keep a smile on your face. You be blessed, you be happy, and be cheerful, okay? Have a blessed day. Now, this is part 1 of the Top Garden update. I think we're going to do another part 1, another part 2, and also a part 3. So stay tuned for those, guys. Have a blessed day.